You know, we're all kind of caught up in this chase, aren't we? This constant search for happiness, for success, and we get hammered with all this self-help advice, visualize this, think positive about that. But what if that's actually taking us down the wrong path? What if the real secret isn't about adding more, but about, well, caring less? Or as Mark Manson puts it, maybe a bit more bluntly, choosing what not to give a fuck about. So today we're doing a deep dive into Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck, which, let's be honest, is not your average feel-good read. It's refreshingly honest, maybe even bracing, about living a meaningful life.
Exactly. And our mission here is really to unpack how Manson just flips so many conventional ideas on their head. Happiness, success, even how we look at suffering. But the crucial thing to get right off the bat is this isn't about apathy. It's absolutely not about indifference. It's about being really intentional, like consciously choosing where you invest your mental energy. What gets your fucks, so to speak.
Right. And as we go through this, you'll find some ideas that are, well, they seem backwards at first, but they're really actionable, could really change how you think about navigating life, especially with all the noise out there today. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so one of the first things he hits you with is this idea called the backwards law. It's a real paradox, isn't it? Like, chasing positive experiences can actually make you feel worse, while accepting the negative stuff that can somehow lead to feeling better.
Mhm. It's wild when you first hear it. But think about it. If you're desperately chasing wealth, always thinking, I need more money, you often end up feeling poorer, more insecure, no matter what your bank balance actually says.
Or wanting to be super attractive. The more you obsess, the more you focus on flaws.
Precisely. The chase itself reinforces the feeling of lack. It's a cognitive trap, really. And Manson breaks this down into three subtleties
Yeah.
of not giving a fuck. First, it's not about being indifferent, like we said. It's being okay with being different.
Right.
Letting the small stuff slide so you can really, really care about the few things that truly matter.
Okay, focusing your energy.
Exactly. Second subtlety. To stop caring about adversity, like, say, what people think, you need something more important to care about. If your biggest concern is random opinions, maybe you haven't found your bigger why yet.
Ah, interesting. So it pushes you to find deeper values.
Right. And the third one is maybe the most fundamental. You're always choosing what to care about, even if you don't realize it. So the goal isn't to stop caring altogether. It's to be deliberate, to consciously prune that list.
Consciously prune. I like that. Okay, so this idea of choosing what matters leads straight into another challenging concept. You are not special. Hmm. That one stings a bit in today's world, doesn't it?
It really does. Manson argues that this sense of entitlement, thinking you just deserve happiness, that good things should just happen without effort, is super destructive. He uses that story of Jimmy, the con man, to show entitlement in action.
And he talks about two types, right? Grandiose and victim.
Yeah, grandiose narcissism is, I'm amazing, so I deserve special treatment. Victim narcissism is, I suck, and the world owes me because of it, so I still deserve special treatment.
Both kind of self-absorbed.
Totally. And he points fingers, quite rightly, I think, at social media, consumer culture.
Mm-hmm.
They constantly feed this need to feel exceptional.
Which ties into what he calls emotional health, right? This idea of needing the mundane truths.
Exactly. He has this great metaphor, all that you're amazing, you're destined for greatness talk. It's like a Big Mac for your heart and brain. Feels good for a second, but it's empty calories. Makes you emotionally bloated.
Ah, okay.
True emotional health, he says, is like eating your vegetables. Accepting the sometimes boring, sometimes difficult truths. Like most of life isn't dramatic or extraordinary, and that's fine.
So the really exceptional people don't even think they are. They just focus on getting better.
That's the paradox.
Mm.
They see themselves as average, maybe, but they're relentlessly focused on improving. They don't need the hype because the drive is internal.
Okay, so we're not special, and chasing happiness might be the problem. Which leads to his next big point. Happiness is a problem. Sounds pretty bleak at first glance. He brings in the Buddhist idea of dukkha. Life is suffering.
Yeah, but he frames it differently. Not as life sucks, but more like problems are inherent. They're part of the deal. And those negative emotions we try so hard to avoid, anxiety, anger, sadness, they're not bugs in the system. They're features.
Features? How so?
They're biological signals, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety signals potential danger. Anger signals injustice or boundary violation. They prompt us to act, to change something.
Okay, evolutionarily useful.
Exactly. And then there's the hedonic treadmill. You chase the next thing you think will make you happy, the promotion, the new car, whatever. You get it, feel good for a bit, then you adapt, and you're back to baseline looking for the next hit. It's a constant chase with diminishing returns.
Right, the goalposts always move.
Always. So Manson flips it. Happiness isn't about avoiding problems. It's found in solving them, engaging with the struggle. The really useful question isn't, what do I want? Everyone wants the good stuff. The better question is, what pain am I willing to sustain? What struggle am I willing to choose?
Choose your struggle. Okay.
Because that choice, what you're willing to work and suffer for, that's what really shapes your life. It's about learning to love the process, the climb itself, because there's always another mountain.
And this idea of choosing connects to another really powerful point. You are always choosing, especially your response to problems. He makes a crucial distinction between responsibility and fault. That's huge.
It is huge. It unlocks so much. His example is stark, getting cancer. It's absolutely not your fault. But dealing with it, treatment, mindset, choices, that's now your responsibility.
Right. Or that thought experiment about the marathon.
Yeah, the mafia marathon. Yeah. Running 26 miles hurts, whether you chose it or whether a mob boss is making you do it. The physical pain is the same.
But how you experience that pain is completely different based on whether you feel you chose it.
Exactly. The perception of choice transforms the experience. It gives you agency.
So taking responsibility, even for stuff that isn't your fault, is where the power lies.
That's the core message. Stop wasting energy on blame, whether it's blaming others or blaming circumstances. Take responsibility for your response. That's where learning happens. That's where action begins. Even when you feel forced, there's always some element of choice in how you react.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. This next one feels almost liberating in a weird way. You are wrong about everything, but so am I. How is being wrong a good thing?
Well, think about it historically, right? People used to be certain the earth was flat. They were certain about alchemy or whatever. We look back now and see how wrong they were. So Manson asks, why would we assume we've suddenly arrived at the absolute truth about everything?
Good point. Our current beliefs probably look pretty silly in 500 years.
Probably. Recognizing that your beliefs are just less wrong versions, constantly evolving, is actually a sign of growth. It requires humility.
Certainty, then, is the enemy of growth.
Pretty much. He gives that really unsettling example of his cyberstalker, someone with absolute, unshakable certainty.
Yeah, that was creepy.
But her beliefs were completely detached from reality. Certainty can blind you, lead to extremism, damage relationships, because you can't entertain other viewpoints.
And that's where Manson's law of avoidance comes in. We avoid things that threaten our identity.
Exactly. If you're certain you're a good person, you'll avoid situations that might force you to confront times when you weren't so good. This leads to his advice to keep your identity small. Don't overattach to labels. It makes it easier to change and grow when new information comes along, because less of you feels threatened.
Makes sense. Which flows right into the next point. Failure is the way forward. If you embrace uncertainty, you have to be okay with failing.
Absolutely. You can't learn or improve without failing sometimes. He mentions Picasso making thousands of pieces of art, many forgotten, on his way to his masterpieces.
And the do something principle, that's really practical.
Super practical. Motivation doesn't disappear. Action creates motivation. You feel stuck. Just do something, anything, the smallest possible step.
Like his math teacher's advice. If you don't know what to do, rewrite the problem. Just engage with it somehow.
Precisely. That small action can break the inertia and spark the motivation you were waiting for, even just walking towards someone if you have social anxiety. Action first.
Okay, so embrace uncertainty, embrace failure. What about commitment? Seems counterintuitive again.
Yeah, you'd think embracing uncertainty means keeping options open forever. But Manson argues that true freedom and depth come from commitment. By choosing one thing, one partner, one career path, one craft, and rejecting the alternatives, you actually free yourself from the endless what-ifs.
The paradox of choice, kind of. Fewer options can be liberating.
Exactly. It allows you to go deep, to find profound meaning and mastery that you just can't get by constantly skimming the surface, always looking for the next best thing. Commitment creates depth.
Wow, okay, so bringing this all together, the final, really profound point. And then you die. He gets personal here, talks about his friend dying young, how facing mortality changed everything.
It's the ultimate perspective shift, isn't it? Like the Stoics practice memento mori, remember death. Confronting your own finite existence acts as this incredible clarifier. Suddenly, all the petty stuff, the things you thought mattered, they just fall away.
Like standing on that cliff edge he talks about, at the Cape of Good Hope.
Yeah, that fetish for high places. It forces that confrontation. What really matters? If this is it, what values do I truly stand for? What legacy do I want to leave? Not in terms of achievements, but in terms of the values I lived by.
So comfort with death comes from living a life aligned with chosen values, seeing yourself as part of something larger.
That seems to be the idea. It's not about the outcome, but about choosing your values, choosing your struggles, and living them out. That's what gives life meaning, even in the face of oblivion. The quality of your fucks given, essentially.
So let's wrap this up. The core message seems to be a good life isn't about dodging problems or chasing constant highs. It's about being selective about what you care about, choosing your struggles wisely,
hmm And embracing uncertainty, learning from your failures.
and using the reality of death to clarify what truly matters.
Right. Which leaves you, the listener, with a pretty potent question, I think. You've got a finite number of fucks in this life. What are you going to spend them on? What
Yeah.
struggles are worth it to you? Because, as Freud apparently said, looking back, those years of struggle might just feel like the most beautiful.
And that Charles Bukowski quote, too. We're all gonna die, all of us. What a circus. That alone should make us love each other, but it doesn't. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does knowing it's all temporary change how you treat people, how you make your choices today? What are you truly giving a fuck about?